of Castle Curmudgeon, where our Olympics only have one event, and it's called slaying your enemies in battle, seeing them driven before you, and hearing the lamentations of their women. Shit, I guess that's 3 events, but that's not important now. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. America and all ships at sea. Welcome to the Blast Radius. So glad you could join us this evening. Here is your Decline of Western Civilization News Roundup for the work week ending 2 August 2024. Dateline Gay Pelly, Monday, 29 July. After the worldwide disgust and mockery that greeted the homosexual burlesque show that passed for this year's Olympic opening ceremony, the official Olympic YouTube channel quietly deleted the video of the event earlier this week and began copyright claiming other channels for using any part of it, which, let's call things what they are. It may be a few years since YouTube started hiding the number of downvotes that a video gets, but there are still ways in which one can read between the lines, you know? Like, for example, if the Olympic YouTube channel tries to memory hold the entire Olympic opening ceremony, if it deletes the whole thing and tries to ban any mention of it, it's probably safe to say that damn thing got ratioed into oblivion. In fact, it's pretty close to an unavoidable conclusion when you get right down to it. It's not the sort of thing a content creator does with a piece of content they are proud to have created. It's the sort of thing a content creator does when they did a random drunk live stream at 2 o'clock in the morning in which they bent over and farted out Michael Jackson's greatest hits and then had no recollection of it until they woke up and found out 50,000 people had just unsubscribed. It's not the way one behaves when one is overflowing with pride in the quality of one's artistic output, which is weird because why be so ashamed? Why cower in the face of homophobia and intolerance? The story we heard in the immediate aftermath of this repulsive display was that it was a beautiful celebration of art and culture. It was in no way intended as an affront to anybody's religious views, and anybody who was offended by it is just a right-wing extremist fuddy-duddy with an irrational hatred of big, fat, hairy drag queens. The mainstream fake news media even took a break from singing the praises of Kamala Harris in order to sign the memo that said, yes, this ceremony was a beautiful, lovely piece of art, edifying in the extreme, not an exposed testicle out of place, and anybody who didn't love it must be some sort of freak or weirdo or deviant. And then the next morning the memo came down, as it often does, that no, we are shifting immediately from this was the greatest thing ever and we love it unconditionally into, nope, that thing never happened, shut your crazy conspiracy theorist mouth. Shifting from one mode to the other because that's the way that wokesters process their grief. Denial, then anger, then bargaining, then wild, disingenuous celebration, then flush that thing right down the memory hole right now, goddammit. What the hell are you talking about? There was no opening ceremony at the 2024 Olympics. There were no fat, hairy drag queens parodying the Last Supper. What the hell are you talking about? You get lost with your weird QAnon fantasies before I call the sheriff, you weirdo. Stop being so frickin' weird. Black George Washington, would you like to do this one? Why, yes, Cap, my show enough the fuck would. Dateline Atlanta, Tuesday, 30 July. Vice President Kamala Harris, who, if being black means having black American ancestors, is less black than Captain Curmudgeon's crack-a-beckerwood ass. She done tried to do a black accent this week at a speech in Atlanta, and it didn't go too goddamn well. Bitch done sounded like she grew up in the richest neighborhood in French fucking Canada. She come up on them mean, gang-infested streets of Montreal, baby. Rocking out on a Walkman to 11-year-old Biggie and Tupac, y'all. Because when you think of authentic American blackness, ain't but 3 names that come to mind. Martin Luther King, Jackie Robinson, Kamala Harris. And there was a lot of folks on social media claiming to be black who said they weren't all that impressed with Kamala's fake black accent. They be making jokes about how she be suffering from sudden onset urban access syndrome and all that kind of shit. They saying the only reason any black people came to this here rally was to hear some twerking rapper do a song about their vagina. Know what I say to them people? They ain't black. They clearly some crack-ass imposter trying to stir up a whole bunch of nonsense. Now you take it from Black George Washington. Ain't nothing more presidential than having your warm-up act sing a song about their vagina. And ain't nothing blacker than a rich girl from Canada with 0 black American ancestors saying we gonna win in 2024, baby. Oh, hell no. Won't you even say nothing about no cultural appropriation? It's called code switching, y'all. Ain't nobody don't understand that. That's some racist crack-ass KKK motherfuckers. What I'm trying to say here, peoples, is that Kamala Harris is a beautiful black Nubian goddess. She's so black, she done married a Jewish motherfucker. Don't get much blacker than that. She's so black, she make Malcolm X look like Wally Cleaver. She's so black, you put her next to Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg look like a fucking albino and shit. I'm Black George Washington. I ain't never done steered you wrong. See you next time. Back to your regular cracker-ass Peckerwood host. Peace out, bitches.
My bad.
George Washington, you've given us a lot to think about. Dateline Chicago, Wednesday, 31 July. Former President Donald Trump accepted an invitation to appear at the convention of the National Association of Black Journalists this week, and it went pretty much like you would expect. Trump acted like Trump, the black journalists made fools of themselves, and the fake news media spent the rest of the week talking about how racist Trump is, which they probably would have been doing anyway. If you've seen the video, and I expect many of you have, Trump comes out, he takes his seat, and this is the part of the proceedings where ordinarily the journalists on the panel would say, "Thank you, President Trump, for being with us today." But not this bunch. No. And I don't remember the chick's name, and I don't want to give her the dignity of looking it up, but I think she works with ABC News. And she sounds like she's an extra from an 80s Valley Girl movie, as most female reporters and politicians do these days. But damn it, our girl does not have any time for things like civility or respect or basic social decorum. Trump's posterior has barely touched his chair before she launches into a question that contained much sound and fury, but the essence of it was, "Why are you such a big, mean, racist, you racist man?" And then Trump, quite rightly, calls her out for being rude. Now, does this chick live in a world where putting on a display like this bolsters her credibility as a journalist? I'm old enough to remember, because I was born more than 5 minutes ago, a time when a journalist speaking to a former president like this, that would have resulted in the journalist's immediate firing. When the former and likely future leader of the free world agrees in good faith to accept an invitation to your event, and you greet him with a question that amounts to, "You're the worst person in the world, prove me wrong," not only have you made a preening, attention-whoring fool of yourself, but you forfeited for all time the right to be called a journalist by any serious person. You see, sweetheart, it isn't your choice whether or not to show respect to the former president of the United States. He is entitled to that respect by virtue of his station, irrespective of whether you, in your capacity as a private individual, deem him worthy of it. If you want to disrespect the ex-president, get a different job. As long as you're purporting to be a professional journalist and drawing a paycheck from an alleged news organization, you forego the right to make that choice. You are obliged, non-negotiably, to show respect toward certain people and institutions, whether you actually respect them or not. Not very long ago, every person who chose the news business for their profession understood this. And then Donald Trump happened. Dateline Washington, Thursday, 1 August. President Joe Biden, and I know it's easy to forget, but he is allegedly still the president, if indeed he ever was, tried to portray himself as a master of international diplomacy this week after he swapped out a handful of spies and murderers in exchange for a handful of innocent American hostages. And am I the only one who gets the feeling like the Biden administration doesn't really appreciate the power imbalance they create when they do deals like this? Because this isn't the first one of these. There was also the swap of America-hating lesbian WNBA player who got popped taking weed into Russia in exchange for international master of espionage. And of course, obviously, anybody who pointed out the power imbalance in that deal was immediately shouted down as a terrible bigot who hates 6'9" weed-smoking black lesbians. When will we finally have justice for the WSBL community? Well, I can't say. I just know it cannot come soon enough. Because it's a really great message that we're sending to Russia and Putin when we keep cutting deals like this. I mean, why not just stop beating around the bush and send him a fancy letter on fancy letterhead that says, "Dearest Comrade Vladimir, Please continue abducting random American tourists and journalists and jailing them indefinitely. We will be happy to let you keep trading them for actual bad people who are in our custody because they committed actual crimes in service of your government. And aren't the Democrats supposed to be the party that hates those damn dirty Ruskies with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns? Because they've got a hell of a funny way of showing it, is all I'm saying, and it really makes my chest swell with pride seeing National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, who, fun fact, got his current post because he did such a splendid job on the cover-up of the Hunter's laptop story. It was probably the closest thing to an alpha male in this whole cartoonishly pussified, feminized administration. It was great to see him squirting tears all over the podium because he did such a great job of getting a swirly from Vladimir Putin. Have you ever seen so many incompetent people engage in such brazen acts of self-congratulation? Yeah, me either. Dateline Paris, Friday, 2 August. What's the hottest event drawing the most public attention at this year's wokest Olympics ever? It is dudes punching women in the face. I know it wouldn't have been my guess either, but like Captain Jack Aubrey once said, what a fascinating modern age we live in. I expect most of you will have heard by now that a certain alleged woman from Morocco, despite being banned by the International Boxing Federation for obviously being a fucking dude, gained headlines for breaking the nose of an Italian opponent this week, an actual woman, no less, who retired from the match after 46 seconds in order to avoid being killed. This guy has now advanced yet farther in the bracket, as one might expect, since he's a dude having a punching contest against ladies. And there's also a Taiwanese competitor who is very obviously a big hulking dude, but is also being allowed by the IOC to compete against women for reasons that are really anybody's guess. Now, is it inherently disgusting and revolting to watch a woman being pummeled about the head and upper torso by a man? Yes, it very much is. But here's where I'm going to get controversial and say a thing that people keep yelling at me for saying, but I am going to keep right on saying it anyway. Watching a woman get punched in the face by any opponent of either sex is inherently disgusting and revolting. And societies that make sport of such things probably shouldn't call themselves civilized. Women's boxing and women's MMA are two of the most upsetting things I have ever attempted to watch. To take pleasure in seeing a woman get pummeled is contrary to every instinct I have in my body as a man whose father raised him to be a gentleman. I am supposed to prevent women from getting brutalized. I am not supposed to revel in it. And I know all the counter arguments. I have heard them all in the last few days. I know they're doing it voluntarily and girls should have the same athletic opportunities and men and all of that stuff, and I'm fine with it. I don't even disagree. I'm saying that a healthy, civilized, well-ordered society is one where only men make sport of pummeling each other with their fists. I'm saying perhaps it might be prudent to contemplate from time to time the possibility that maybe once in a while gender-based double standards are good and proper things. What do you think, Jim Eagle? Was this the most controversial news roundup ever? I trust we've given the chat plenty of things to talk about, but now it's that time when the captain leaves the bridge and passes the con to my distinguished colleague, your illustrious co-host, the dominant hominid himself, the one and only, your friend and mine, Mr. Caucasian Sasquatch.